Hello, this is Manesh Patel from EII Capital Group. Today is December 13, 2011. This is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the currency markets, where we're going to cover everything from Europe to Asia to North America. Normal disclaimer, this is for education use only. All charts you're going to see are either from Thinkorswim, from TD Ameritrade, TradeStation, or freestockcharts.com. Okay, here are my contact details. You could email me at mpatel@eiicapital.com or at info@eiicapital.com. You could access any of our free videos under the education section under ichimokutrade.com, or you could follow us at Twitter at ichimokutrading. Okay, so let's begin and start going to the charts. Okay, so let's go look at our charts. Remember, on the left-hand side is the daily time frame. On the right-hand side is the weekly time frame. So basically, weekly gives us a higher view of what's going on. If you look at a weekly time frame right now, basically we are going down, and you know, we're not started a trend yet, believe it or not, but we have changed sentiment because we're below the cloud now to a point where bearish long-term wise. And we will be bearish until we could break above 1.3861 for the Euro USD. Okay, now if you look at the daily time frame, it looks like here we're retesting lows here at this double bottom here. There's 50-50 chance, of course, of breaking through bottom to the lower side, but right now this kind of tells me this is out of equilibrium, so it may not break through right now, but with time it may. If it breaks through basically this support level right here at 31.65, then it has a possibility of going 1.3077. If it breaks through 1.3077, it's kind of like a fine line in the sand where it's got last hold. Where if it breaks through that, then this thing does have a possibility of getting all the way down to 1.2600, like everyone else in the media is talking about. However, there's two levels it's got to break. One is the 31.65 and the other one's 3077. On the resistance side, you're looking at 3509, and the main one for long-term picture is about 3865. So you know, you're about 300 pips higher on the resistance side because you're right at the bottom right now, retesting the lows on the support side. So Euro USD is kind of at a critical stage now where it's got to make some decisions on what it's going to do. If it bounces off this, then it's going to sit there and probably range for a little while. You're trying to go back to the top part of range, which is 3509. Okay, and we spent some time on this. Reason why is all the stuff going on in Europe. Pound USD, same thing, weekly. The sentiment's now bearish. Doesn't mean it's trending at all, so you gotta be patient. If you look at the daily time frame, we're kind of just hanging around here. We haven't even retested this pivot low at all, so we can't even go lower there. If you look at the support, you basically are looking at 1.5500. Well, you could just look at this pivot here, 54.41. Resistance level is going to be 57.75 for the daily time frame and 59.44 for the higher time frame. So really, this looks like it could sit there in range for a while. It's not at the bottom of the range at all. It's kind of in between. So really nothing going on as far as the Euro Pound USD is concerned. Let's just cycling through all the US pairs right now. Australian USD, if you look at the weekly time frame, is basically consolidating, and so is the daily, so nothing going on there. New Zealand USD, really weekly time frames in the cloud, so nothing going on there. On the daily side, really nothing going on there. If things are out of whack, out of equilibrium right now, it is bearish, but it has not started the bearish trend at all yet. If it breaks below below 0.7600, then this thing does have a possibility of starting a trend to retest the lows here at 7,400, but doesn't look like it's going to happen right now. It looks like it can sit there and consolidate, and the more it just sits there and does not retest this low, the weaker it's becoming. So, and that's that one. US CAD. If you look at US CAD, the sentiment is bullish on the weekly time frame. Just deleting these levels here, and it is holding up. It's not doing anything as far as a trend is concerned, and won't start to trend until it can at least break above 1.0500. So it's got to break above that. If you look at the daily time frame, nothing going on here. This looked like it's saying change sentiments here bullish, then it went down bearish, then it came here. Right now we're at a resistance level of 286. is a resistance level, and 17 is, believe it or not, is a support level. So we're kind of ranging between those two values, and it's got to make a decision what it wants to do. But the weekly is telling me it's still leaning towards the bullish side until it could at least break above. Until it could start breaking above 500 to start a trend, or break below 31 to kind of reverse things from the bullish to bearish. Okay. US yen is a key one a lot of people have been looking at. If you look at the weekly time frame, really nothing going on at all. As you can see, every time the government intervenes, we kind of retrace everything, and we've completely retraced everything to a point we went a little below it, then came back up. So nothing going on there. Daily time frame here, nothing going on. Sentiment is bullish. The more this consolidates, believe it or not, the more it's giving momentum to the bulls. So because it's taking the momentum away from the bears on trying to take this thing and tank it further. So it is positive that it's consolidating right now. And believe it or not, probably in a week or two, if this thing could sit there and break above 78.50, then we do have a possibility of starting a trend to the top side. So again, the resistance is 78.53, and support basically is going to be around 77. Okay, let's go. You look at euro pound. If you look at euro pound, this is the interesting one here. Definitely be looking at this one. If you look at the weekly time frame here, the sentiment is bearish and it's trying to pop out to start a trend. And if you look at the daily time frame, it is now starting to trend to the downside here. So just be careful and watch out for that. If you look here, we still got to break this 84.40 level, which is a major support level. So that's your support at 84.40, and then resistance is going to be 85.52. But if it breaks this 84.40, this thing does have a possibility going down lower into the 8200 range. So the pound is getting stronger compared to Europe. Okay, another one a lot of people have been looking at. Let's go look at USDJPY real fast, and then we can sit there. If you look at the weekly time frame, it's basically in the clouds, so nothing going on. If you look at the daily time frame, this thing is broken out from its resistance level here yesterday. And today is going to be a key to see if that was a fake breakout or not, to see if it follows through. It may not, we're not sure. Just got to wait for price action to complete today to kind of find out what's going on. But this thing's slowly been trickling upwards with time. Okay, let's go look at EURUSD. Look at EURUSD, same thing. And this is pretty much where the government intervened and stuff like that. So you could see there's not much going on with SWITSI pairs at all. This is just that they're consolidating on the a daily time frame. Australian SWITSI broke out just like the US SWITSI did. This one looks the strongest of all the SWITSI pairs. So if you are going to play anything with SWITSI, I'd probably look at the Australian SWITSI right now. Let's see how definitely that's Australian SWITSI. If you're going to play something bullish, definitely look at it on the Australian side with Australian SWITSI. Pound yen is another one a lot of people wanted us to look at. If you look at this, nothing really going on right here. Just remove these alerts and price line charts. It was trending down. It's kind of consolidating right now. It really needs to start breaking down to start a trend to the downside. And if you look here, daily is showing you nothing at all. It's just kind of consolidating. Resistance level is 122.48, and support's going to be basically 120. Okay, I think we did euro yen, but we'll just look at it. Nothing there. Let's see what else. Australian, New Zealand. If you look at Australia, New Zealand, not enough data here for some reason. We'll find out why. Should have enough data for a weekly. Doesn't for some reason. I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, the daily basically looks like this is trending, if you could see here. And now looks like it's just sitting there stopping here at a major resistance level, and you could see the resistance level is right around here, which is close to that pivot high. 52.50 is a major resistance level. 31.11 is basically a major support level there for Australia and New Zealand. Euro CAD is another one a lot of people want to look at. If you look at the weekly time frame, it's in the cloud consolidating. Here you could kind of see it's almost a double bottom. So this thing's got to sit there and start breaking down. If it's got it breaks below 3,400, then we can start a trend to the downside. The resistance level is going to be 37.75, but I really don't see this thing breaking down at all right now. So time will tell. Australian CAD is another one. We're still waiting for the data. for some reason it's not coming through. Okay, that one didn't come through. We'll look at Canadian yen. You could see this was trending to the downside here, which is bearish, kind of consolidating here. Daily, nothing's going on. So that's it for right now. So just be patient. Remember, not many trends going on right now. So you need to sit there and be patient and wait for the opportunities to come to you and not chase the market. Thank you and see you next.